Alright, hello, welcome. It's the 11 o'clock Hurricane Zeta update. It's still a hurricane. Get the latest update in here from the Hurricane Center. And there is a storm surge now that is affecting not New Orleans, but to the east of New Orleans in places like Biloxi and Mobile. There is significant flooding ongoing in these areas. So Zeta is moving rapidly through Mississippi and Alabama with dangerous storm surge, strong gusty winds, and heavy rain. As of 10 p.m., its location is 31.5 north, 88.7 west, about 45 miles northeast of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Maximum sustained winds 80 miles an hour. Still a Category 1 hurricane, moving northeast at 31 miles an hour. So it's moving fast. But because of its fast movement, you got to remember, you got to add that to the winds on the right side of the storm. Minimum central pressure 979 millibars, or 28.91 inches. And we still have the warnings, hurricane warnings, in effect for much of the area of Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana. As of 10 p.m., I'll read this again. The center of Hurricane Zeta is located in latitude 31.5 north, longitude 88.7 west. Zeta is moving toward the northeast at 31 miles an hour, and an even faster northeastward motion is expected overnight through Thursday. Then a rapid east-northeast motion is anticipated through Friday. This is as it gets caught up in the trough in the upper level flow. On the forecast track, the center of Zeta will move into southern Alabama soon, and then move quickly across the southeastern eastern United States through Thursday before emerging offshore the mid-Atlantic coast late Thursday. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near 80 miles an hour. Further weakening is expected, and Zeta should decay into a tropical storm overnight and into a non-tropical gale force low by Thursday morning. The low should become absorbed by a frontal system over the western Atlantic on Friday. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 25 miles from the center. And tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 150 miles from the center. The Mobile Regional Airport recently reported a sustained wind of 48 miles an hour with a wind gust to 91. The minimum central pressure is 979 millibars, or 28.91 inches. So looking at these current conditions here across the area, you can see some very strong wind gusts, and this wind is helping pile the water into places like Biloxi and Mobile, which are over here, and you're still getting wind gusts 65 miles an hour at Dauphin Island. So 63 mile an hour at Calvert, wind gusts, 51 at Green, 51 mile an hour wind gusts at Green. So these winds are still very strong as this moves inland, and it's knocking out power as it moves inland. These winds and again, you're seeing that flooding, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So this is the latest satellite loop of Zeta. You can clearly see its structure, and it's really moving now. It's really moving very rapidly inland. But that means its strength will be over a larger area. And then when we pull this out, and you see all the hurricane, literally, you have is this a hurricane warning over here, or is that is a tropical storm warning in effect for that area? And then we have tropical storm warnings in effect for this area too. So all the way inland, it's very unusual to see them stretch this far inland, and that's because of the fast movement of this storm. So when we go to the National Weather Service office in Louisiana, they're talking about some of the flooding water covering parts of US 90 in Gulfport. You've got water on the road, and they also released a list of all the winds. These are the wind reports here from the New Orleans area, and 112 miles an hour at Bayou Benavue, Louisiana, 104 mile an hour gust at Bay Waveland Yacht Club, 101 miles an hour in Gulfport, Mississippi, 101. That's the one we read earlier at Shell Beach. Really impressive winds, very impressive winds from this storm. Extremely impressive from this, and there's structure damage. There's a video of a roof getting. They're conducting surveys. Here's flooding at the Golden Nugget. Obviously, power is out in a lot of places. But we want to look at the office, and it will show the radar on the screen. You can see that radar is now you can see it's moving away. It's definitely moving away from the area. So we have to go to the next Weather Service office, which is Mobile, Alabama. Well, this is Mobile, Pensacola, and we're going to get the latest information from their Twitter feed as well as to what's going on over there. So we're waiting for this to load here. So power outages, blown transformers. There's a video of it right there going on. And there are numerous reports of trees down on houses. This is according to the Weather Channel. Yeah, these are the storm. So a lot of power outages in that area. Debris, but the wind is really bad. Here's another example of the kind of winds you're dealing with. Power outages. The wind blowing through Mobile. You can see power flashes occurring. I guess that's downtown that they're showing there. So water levels are rising in downtown Mobile. Oh yeah, you can see the water right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. Flooding into downtown Mobile. So Mobile is going underwater. Downtown is going underwater, and that probably will knock out power too. If they have an underground grid, it probably will. So there's going to be a lot of power outages in the area. And again, you got the storm surge. Here's some more flooding going on. Storm surge flooding. So we're seeing that. We're seeing the flooding. So it looks like it's not New Orleans that getting hit the hardest. It's this is Pensacola now. So again, you can see the transformers lighting up the sky there. And power going out in those areas. Massive power flash in West Mobile, and that just took out the power there. It could have been a substation, perhaps. So a lot of people reporting power flashes as power systems go down across the area where they're getting affected. We can actually, I think maybe we can get the storm reports from here. I wish they would actually put the links up on their page, but they don't. As far as storm reports go, I really wish they would, but there are a whole bunch of reports in this area of downed trees on houses. Some people probably hurt, some people may be killed. This is a major disaster occurring, lots of flooding. It's mainly on the right side of the storm that we're seeing all this flooding in places like Biloxi and Mobile. We can do this. We can search Twitter and search for Mobile. So you get an idea of what's going on in Mobile here. These are the flood gauges here in Mobile. So you see, look at that, major flooding. So there's major flooding going on in Mobile, and Biloxi as well is also dealing with that flooding as well. If you saw on the Weather Channel, Jim Cantori was in the parking garage when it flooded. Yeah, this is some of the video from the Weather Channel here. Storm surge from the Weather Channel's the only one covering this. Once again, there you go. That's the video I wanted to show you. The water rolling into the Golden Nugget, the parking lot there. So significant flooding going on, power outages due to this. It's a major disaster in Biloxi here, and across major parts of again, Alabama being affected, Louisiana being affected, Mississippi being affected, and lots of there's a steeple that's gotten knocked down. So there's structural damage again with these wind gusts. Here's another video of the storm surge. Here you go. So this is what we're dealing with here. Major disaster once again. I cannot believe once again that none of the other networks are covering this. It's only the Weather Channel, thank God. But all the other networks are just geared to a certain demographic. I guess losing on Wall Street wasn't enough for a certain demographic. But our planet is trying to send us a message, and this is going to be a historic storm, another natural disaster. I've seen so much of this year. It's just very upsetting to see. But we do have to talk about it. We have to report on it because we are seeing the consequences of climate change right before our eyes. And we're not even done yet. There are going to be more storms. I just know it. The year is not over yet. There's going to be more storms. And this thing, again, is racing to the northeast, and it's going to affect areas inland and cause some wind damage there, too, as well. But you can see the water, the strong winds just will keep the water keeps coming in places like Biloxi and Mobile. So significant flooding being seen in those areas. Looks like New Orleans was spared, probably because it was on the right side of on the left side of the storm, or the storm. It wasn't in the worst part of the storm, which is the right side, and that's probably why it got spared the worst. But the worst is indeed happening to Biloxi and Mobile. So that is going to wrap up this update on Hurricane Zeta. Still a hurricane as it races northeastward across Mississippi and into Alabama. Thank you for watching.